Welcome to Patea, New Zealand. Now, to be honest with you, there's not much here, but there is a little museum that I wanted to stop at, so I'll show you the rest of town as long as we're here anyway.
Originally a military outpost dating back to 1865, the tiny coastal town of Patea, New Zealand is a sad remnant of what it used to be. The New Zealand Historical website actually calls Patea New Zealand's most poignant industrial graveyard. The town was originally called Carlisle, growing quickly into the largest settlement in the southern Taranaki region. Eventually, though, the town was named after the Patea River that flows through the east end of town and out to the ocean. Patea grew up as a river port town, one of the busiest ports in the area in the 1800s. Agricultural cargo such as cheese, wool, meat, and flax were commonly shipped out from Patea in its earlier days, much of it making its way on small boats down to Wellington to then be shipped out on larger vessels internationally. In 1883, a meat freezing facility was built. The economy of the town centered around the meat freezing industry for the next 100 years, employing over 800 people at its peak, and eventually closing in 1982. A substantial cheese industry in town also was prominent and eventually closed. Patea was actually the world's largest cheese exporting port in the world in the 1920s. Since then, the town has struggled to find a new identity without an economically stable industry. It has somehow continued to survive, but just barely, with only a little over 1,000 people living here today, with a median income of only $19,000, well below the national average. Route 3 runs straight through the middle of the town, which is likely the main reason that any visitors make it to Patea at all, as there's not much to do in town. With a strong Maori presence in the region, there is a 17-meter-long canoe with 9 painted people called the Aotea Waka. Created in 1933 in commemoration of the Waka's captain, Turi, and his family. The Waka is right beside the library and Plunkett Rooms, also known as the Hunter Shaw Building, whose estate was a major benefactor in building the library. Today, this building serves as the City Hall, with a new library built just a short bit down the road. In the center of town is a beautiful old building that used to be the Post and Telegraph office, built in 1923, a very fancy building for such a tiny town, reflecting the economic effects of the meat freezing plant. Right across the road stands the Albion Hotel, which is well over 100 years old, replacing a previous hotel which stood on the site that burned down in 1903. There are a few small businesses in town, but most of the old commercial buildings seem vacant and empty, again mirroring the story of the town, slowly fading away from the economic glory that it once had. There is a gas station, a grocery store, some cafes, and a few small dairies, which is what convenience stores seem to be called in New Zealand. It was kind of a random stop mid-route on the way between Wanganui and New Plymouth for me. However, I did have one thing planned while visiting Patea, to see the little museum in town, the Aotea Utanganui, or the Museum of South Taranaki, which, considering the sad state of most of this town, was a true surprise, as it was well-designed, well-maintained, and had a nice selection of items to look at, and much information about local history. There were displays on agriculture, displays about boating and the shipping industry, as well as local wrecks, and of course, information and artifacts related to the Maori from this region. There is a research and reading room available here as well for those seeking historical information from this area. The museum is well worth seeing, even if just to stretch your legs while traveling through on Route 3. And the best part is that it is free to see, just like many other museums in New Zealand. While there isn't much to see in Patea, I am still glad I stopped. It provides a glimpse into what living in a tiny New Zealand town is like. Yes, it's true that there are many depressing vacant buildings, but there is a rich, storied past and a strong community spirit that continues to keep this town going today. I hope that the town can regain some economic stability and rebuild this town into what it once was, yet again. We'll see you next time, somewhere else, down the road.